Welcome back to Orange Track Outlaws, everybody. Thanks for checking the channel out. Today we are going to work on the Three Blind Mice October Challenge. This is the Matchbox 1975 Caprice. Pretty cool looking car here. I think we can do, actually there's a lot of options I think we can do with this car, but this thing what's really speaking out to me is classic lowrider. So that's what we're gonna do with this baby. We're going to convertible also. I gotta point that out. So we're gonna chop the top. We're gonna put some cool looking gold wheels on it, give it a cool little flip-flop paint job, and try to make this thing as low rider as possible. And I think it's gonna look pretty cool when we're done. So let's get right on into it. So what we have here is our 75 Caprice by Matchbox. As it is right now, it's kind of dull, really. It's not something that I think I'd be going for, but I think it's got a lot of potential. And we're going to get started here as usual by drilling our posts out. These posts here, they already have a little dimple in the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and skip the drilling with the smaller bit and drilling the pilot. We're going to go with our bigger normal size bit here and zip the heads off and go ahead and get this thing popped open. As usual, drilling the post out, basic stuff here. As soon as you really the goal there is to get that little ring to come off of there, and usually if it rides up the drill bit, that's perfect. You know you're good there. Other than that, sometimes you got to pry it off, but just take your little screwdriver and pry the base off there, and then you can kind of wiggle it apart, and then it'll usually pop right off. So basic ingredients here, I guess. We got a plastic chassis, short wheelbase here. That'll be an easy wheel swap. Change the color of that guy. Interior is pretty basic. We're going to change the color of that also. And we have our body here. Kind of boring. So first thing we're going to do, I think we're going to dive right into chopping that top off and turn this guy into a bad boy convertible. I'm going to strip the paint first to see how it's going to look, and we're going to go ahead and zip off all of that whatever residue, haze or whatnot from the sandblast box, and take a look at our metal here in our body. Just to see if there isn't anything else that needs any attention. I don't think it's going to need too much, if any, really. And since we are going to, we're going to use some rattle can paint for our flip-flop paint. We're going to use a black base. That's going to cover up pretty much any imperfections that are going to be on this guy. So we got her all cleaned up. I got it kind of marked off where I want the convertible top to go. So we're going to take our little Dremel tool with our cutoff wheel, and we're going to turn this Caprice into a convertible. Shouldn't take a whole lot here. Just going to cut these little posts off, and this thing's going to pop right off of here. I don't know if what you guys think when you look at this car, but you know, this big old Caprice, it's kind of a big old boat. I really think that lowrider is definitely the way to go. There's probably some pretty cool paint jobs you can do here. I think this could be a good Spectraflame kind of a job too, and even a good fade would probably look cool on this. But I've been kind of wanting to use these rattle can color flop paints from testers that I have. So I got somewhat of a plan here. I'm going to try to, I guess, kind of work it into a fade between two different types. It's going to be like a color shift purple and kind of like a color shift greenish blue. So I'll show you that in a little bit here. But we got our top chopped off here. We're going to take a file and get all those rough edges smoothed down real good and get it looking real nice. And then we're going to try to fit our interior in here. So as you can see, the interior does look pretty cool in here, but there is a big chunk in the back missing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a piece of styrene and I'm going to cut it to fit and glue it to the interior to make it kind of look like the convertible top cover. So that's going to be the goal here. But next in line is painting this chassis here, and we're going to use some Createx Autoborne Sealer Black. Basically just going to go for a black base here. This thing's gold and it's terrible, and we're going to turn it black, and then we're going to kind of trim it up, doll it up a little bit with some color here. Since we're going to do, I got some pretty cool gold rims picked out. I think they're really going to pop off the paint I have picked, and we're going to go ahead and make gold bumpers front and back. I think that'll look pretty cool with kind of like the gold rim theme that I got going. So Autoborne Sealer Black. This is about 25ish, high 20s, 30 psi. You thin it out like the bottle says. I think it's 10% or so, and go with about 20-25, and really it's about the best results I've had from it so far. Dry tip is still a little bit of a problem, but not a big problem. Really, as long as you follow those directions on the bottle, you should have decent results. But you really are going to have to clean them airbrushes. I don't know if you guys ever use the Autoborne sealers. You got to clean them airbrushes really well after that. Same thing here. We're going to move on to priming our body here, and we're going to go with the Autoborne Sealer Black on this as well. We are going to go ahead and cover everything lightly, just to get it, and good coverage, nice and light, and then basically a tack coat, and we'll move on into better coverage and a fuller coverage after that first coat. So you get a look there. First coat's actually pretty darn light, but we're going to start laying on the sealer now. Don't have to lay it on thick in any certain areas since the body was in really good shape. So we're just going to lay it on, make sure we get a nice black that we're looking for here. If any of you guys have used the Testors Color Shift rattle can paints, the directions do say to start with a black base, and I think that's pretty standard with any Color Shift paints, is it go on that black base, and that really helps the paint basically do what it does and pop after you get that clear coat on there. It does, you can get a good look at it, which I'll show you later before the clear comes on, but after that clear coat hits it, it looks great. So we're going to keep on going here, laying on our black base coat and get nice even coverage, get that nice glossy black look. That's what we're going for, and we should be ready for some color here. So we're going to start with Color Shift, and it is called Purple Sunrise, and this is kind of purple to blue. It looks really cool. Since it is rattle can, it's not going to take a whole lot of coats, and it really covers and layers pretty good. As you can see already, it's it's already, by the way I turn the car, it's shifting from purple to blue on the sides. Got a real cool sparkle to it. So that's going to be the sides all the way around. It's going to be that purple sunrise, and then we're going to move to a different color and paint the top, basically the hood, around the windshield, and the trunk, and try to get it somewhat faded into that purple sunrise. But that'll be the next step here. I'm going to hit this thing one more good coat on the sides of the purple sunrise, and that should have just about cover it. So I think it's looking pretty good. 2 coats should be good, and that's healthy coats of this rattle can stuff. Now we're going to move on to this stuff that's called Blue Galaxy. This is another blue, and it's going to go to kind of a greenish. So I'm hoping this looks somewhat of a kind of a fade from the sides to the top. Just want it to be kind of different. And one quick coat on the top, you can see it's just kind of have a little bit of a blue, kind of has a little bit of a purple to it, and there's a little bit of green. If you can catch the green as I turn it, it looks pretty cool. So I think this is gonna look pretty cool after it's all said and done. But we're gonna come in here and hit one more coat at least, and try to get this thing covered up nice and thick. And you can see as I move it around, it's turning all different kinds of colors. And you know, as far as a lowrider goes, that's what I have in my mind, and that's really kind of what I'm going for. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit it on a little bit of a 45-degree angle, kind of on top of the doors a little bit, and try to get just a little bit to hit down kind of the size of the door, and see how it goes. Next up, we are going to move on to our interior, and this is it's like a light tan interior. You can see on the back there I did glue that piece of styrene on there. So we're going to go ahead and prime this whole thing up with a little sealer white, and it does take a little bit of time and a lot of lighter coats, at least as far as I've found. But we're going to get started here. First light coat, try to get in all the little cracks and crevices there. That's the first order business here when it comes to all these little interiors. I try to get in there in the back of the seats, and you know, down in inside everything before I really start covering everything. But this shouldn't be too difficult. I'm gonna keep on spraying it nice and light, and just keep layering it on. You know, the last thing I'm gonna do, lay it on heavy and get some runs, or even in the seats on the interiors. You don't want to see any of that pooling effect. So try to keep it light, not heavy, and just keep covering and covering until you get the look you're going for. So we just about got her. I think we got about all we need to do there. It's nice and white. Final assembly time. I did mention that I was going to put some gold wheels. You can see I got the gold bumpers trimmed out. I put the wheels on off camera. That's basically standard. You can see the interior. I did choose to go with a green for the seats, just to have a little contrast here. I got the clear coat on the body, and that thing is looking cool. It's shining, it's popping. You can look at that paint there. I put a flashlight on it to help show you some of the sparkle, but really not getting a lot of good of the color shift at this angle. But it'll come up here in a little bit when I get her on the turntable. So putting her back together, we'll put the windshield in first. As you can tell, I did have to chop the windshield down quite a bit because we went with convertible, but it does fit in there. Interior fits in there nice. We'll put our new painted and detailed chassis with our new gold wheels on there, and really thought that the white wall tires would just really kick this thing off with the white interior, and being just a classic lowrider, gold rims, white walls. I think it looks cool. So I'm hoping you guys are really digging how this thing is ending up here. So it was giving me a little bit of a fit getting back together, and basically it was just the interior part that goes over the axles. I didn't shave enough of that down, but we ended up getting her put back together just fine. Shaved it down, everything fit okay. Put my self-tapping screws in, and we're good to go. But first we're going to take a quick step back. This is what we started with. It's basically the stock Matchbox 75 Caprice. Very bland, very boring, and we turned this thing into some sweet little convertible lowrider, and this is what we ended up with. I thought this is a pretty cool result here. The color shift paint on the sides faded up to a different color shift on the top. Loving the gold wheels, the white walls, the gold bumpers. I think they just look sweet. That white interior really pops off this thing. I picture lowrider. This is what I see. Really hope you guys enjoyed this build. I want to thank the Three Blind Mice for putting on another cool monthly event, and please check out all the other builders. They're making some cool stuff, that's for sure. Check out my other customs. Check out my other races if you're into that kind of thing. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell to get notified of any new builds and any new races I got coming up. And I do have some coming up. I got some really cool stuff, some more Three Blind Mice stuff, some more races, some more customs. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.